today we're in the heart of Haworth, looking at the Flying Scotsman. So let's get going. Broken's Model Railway, that's Modeloco. Hi, my name's Andy, and yes, I've got a ticket to ride. Booked online, they were selling out like hotcakes as we take the driving inspiration into Centenary Trilogy Part 2. And whether you're a modeller, an artist or a poet, we all need to get those juices flowing. To get some ideas, that's why I've come here. If you want to see Part 1 in this Centenary Trilogy series on Flying Scotsman, a complete, concise history, and I discovered so much making it, just search up Modeloco ml18 and I'll try and leave a link in the description. Absolutely fantastic, eh? And you can even now become a Modeloco first class or a Modeloco Pullman class member with free VIP video content and perks and all that jazz. Anyway, what better place to start when you're in Bronteland than on those famous cobbles on Main Street, nice and early before the crowds descend for our icon of steam. The Bronte Parsonage is up there and we're heading about 2 miles down there to Oxenhope Station. So let's go. I'm on Haworth Station. I've walked down from Main Street, down the cobbles, to get to where I wanted to be. The feeling was I could either walk or head out of Haworth Station on one of these many varied services, as I hunt down the most famous locomotive in history. Do always check the K&WVR timetables. They are seasonal and they do change and lessen in the winter months. That being said, it's an absolute fabulous day today. It's only a single line once you've got past the Haworth Loco shed. So we see our outbound train returning to Haworth after the journey. There and back again. Time flies by when you're the driver of a train. There's always a dog about, isn't there? Man's best friend, of course. So here's the return. All gathering inspiration as I'm stood on the railway bridge of Haworth Station. The rooftops. And all the panelling, piping, venting, what have you. Walk through carriage that could be hooked up to the tender of Flying Scotsman, of course. We'll talk more about that in a bit. All this nostalgia, it does spark creativity, imagination, and if you're like me, endless modelling ideas. I'm building a new and imaginary place with its surrounding fells and villages called Shiredale, and you can search YouTube Modeloco ml18 for more on that. As I stood on the station, waiting my next decision, it's not just steam engines running on the Keighley and Worth Valley Railway, or my layouts at home. When I saw this diesel coming in down the line, just thought at first, hey, this is still running on a BR service train line, isn't it? On the main line. And it reminded me of how things can just come and go without really noticing they've actually gone. As it passed by, I could see more of the box design of old. Couple on the station, taking in the site. You just feel calmer just stepping onto the platform, away from the hustle and the bustle. Back in time to a much slower way of living, well, I'd say so. And 10 out of 10 for the free toilet facilities, absolutely superb and clean. Flowers, paintwork and such dedicated staff all round. Now bound for Oxenhope, having passed through Haworth and before that Oakworth, Damon's, the smallest station in the UK, Ingro West, having first left Keighley, which connects to the main line of course, and where the Flying Scotsman came into our line from. The Haworth Loco sheds house some real gems, and exclusive video content is going to be available soon to Modeloco members, so why not sign up for the perks too and help this channel? We'll feature some maintenance footage of the Flying Scotsman and 2 locomotives used in the Railway Children, etc, etc, etc. P.S. Last time Flying Scotsman came to town, it helped fund the cost almost in full for the smaller corrugated shed furnished with 2 shutter doors on the right. I'm walking down, missed the train, through the village, and I wanted you to see this scene before Flying Scotsman descends. It all looks very quiet. Another lone horse rider, and West Yorkshire is currently a hotspot for the movie industry. So, Hollywood loves the place. Yes? Why not? West Yorkshire. And the next time I'm here, it's going to be a lot busier than this. In fact, it's right now.
So here we are at Oxenhope Station, and what's usually a very quiet afternoon, but not today. Special guest in town. Let's go find out.
So here we are, sat in the Flying Scotsman. We never thought this was going to happen, did we? But yeah, keep watching, keep viewing. For all things model railway, that's Modeloco. Love the smell of steam, it's one of my favourite smells. Pardon me for getting the giggles. It's a cameraman's life. Tracks creaking under the weight of this magnificent beauty as we roll down the track. Right, brilliant. Thank you. So they do say that the wheel splashes and these side panels are the only original parts left, but who cares? It's a Flying Scotsman. Very excited me, and yes, a little bit of a description through the window. You can see the regulator levers hanging down either side. I've put a bit more information there if you want to stop and read through it about what some of the controls do. I didn't get time to ask too many questions. Busy fella from E. Riley and Sons. So now leaving it to the big lads, as we said, from the Bury Works. I don't want to end up walking to Keighley from Oxenhope, as I did from Haworth to here, and backing up our beautiful A3. So just pausing a bit here so you can see the walk-through tender, enabling the crew changeovers and the famous non-stop services, of course, from Edinburgh to London. Search Modeloco ml18 for more information. It's still used today from footplate to a link carriage behind via the central doorway. The brass and glass porthole window allowing some light in, and today there's an additional electric lighting, of course, and I was on board and the driver kindly turned it on for us. Thank you very much. Great guy from E. Riley and Sons. Well worth a mention. And it, of course, was these boys that took over from the NRM to get this locomotive back into this pristine condition that we see here. Gleaming, gleaming, every brass bush and valve beautifully done. Check in. Trip on the Scotsman was by pre-booked ticket only, so just a quick look inside. I got a photograph. A guy tried to grab me there and he made friends.
Absolutely beautiful station. Excellent. Every corner you turn, there's something else to look at. So, end of the platform, and doing a bit of pulling and pushing. Got another engine at the end of the train, and it is a remarkably long train. Okay, it's time to find the seats. So, Coach D. Got my tickets, walking down, very excited. And here we go, on board. Felt a bit like Michael Portillo on the Great Train Journey episodes. Come on now. Oh, we're coming. We're off. The doors are clicking shut. And everybody's doing a bit of filming. Why not? Just like me. And we're on our way. On the centenary year of Flying Scotsman. We're leaving Oxenhope Station. And I have to say, I feel like a big kid. Interesting though on the journey is we're being sort of pulled really, and so Scotsman on the way as we depart is actually pushing. On the way back it will be heading down the incline now, and our journey is going to take us next through the various stations. The only one I missed on the way back was Damon's. It is a very small station, but everyone was crowded in the windows and I was at the wrong side. I'm also at the wrong side here. The field that we're just coming past now with the blustery wind is where I did the intro filming on my way down. About midway, there it is. That's where I did the filming. About midway between Haworth and Oxenhope. By the road. Not as the crow flies. We're coming into Keighley Station. We'll film other stations on the return. The line was built to support the thriving worsted, yarn and cloth industry in Haworth, and also supply coal. A lot of houses were built in this time, and the biggest mill being Bridge House Mills on the Bridge House Beck, and this line was officially opened in 1867. Coming back very soon. Keighley Station. Here we are. We're on the journey back in a minute. So Yorkshire is famous for Timothy Taylor's Landlord is a glorious brew if you ever come up to Yorkshire. But yes, I'm on Prosecco because we are celebrating 100 years of Flying Scotsman, and what better way to do it. And yes, I have had one. Only had half. So the Keighley and Worth Valley Railway was first opened in 1867, as we said, to transport coal and textiles to local mills. This we also said. K&WVR are the only complete preserved standard gauge branch line in the world. Fantastic. We're journeying back in time to enjoy 5 miles of stunning scenery and beautifully preserved stations along the way. Indeed, our dedicated team of over 700 volunteers are at the heart of the railway. Roles include booking clerks, engine drivers, crossing keepers and many more. They're always looking for new volunteers, so visit kwvr.co.uk/volunteer to find out more. The railway gratefully accepts all forms of donations, as does Modeloco, by pressing the join button. So just after that tunnel, it was Damon Station on the other side somewhere. Some happy revellers waving, all having a bit of a do. I'm not surprised, Flying Scotsman's in town, centenary year. And yeah, into Haworth Station. Some nice little examples to look at and absorb for your railway or your ideas, your drawings, whatever it is. How things look so different when you're actually in the carriage than when you're outside, stood looking back. And yeah, I'd had half a landlord and some Prosecco at this point, so my filming might have got a little bit haywire. You've got to enjoy it, and I really did want to enjoy it, but I wanted to capture it for you guys out there as well. When I say guys, that's all of us, male, female, whatever we identify ourselves as. We're all one. We're all one. I think this is Mytholm's Viaduct. Mytholm's Tunnel. Climbing the line. Truly splendid day out. Again, we're pulling back through Haworth Station, viewed from the other side of the platform this time. There's the railway bridge that I did some filming on earlier. Lovely stuff. And of course, coming through, and in a second I should scan over, hopefully, if I can get a window. I found one, so we can see the loco sheds. Nice class. There, look. And of course the mills that are now homes. There was a big fire there some years ago, but they transformed it very quickly. And all these houses have been built within the last 10-20 years. Lovely. And they make very trendy apartments or family homes. And finally up the incline from Haworth into Oxenhope. Both humanity and nature in harmony. A stunning scene indeed. Zealous guy there waving, one of our camera crew. And of course, a bit of a helping hand from the 78002. And a view from both the coach and hillside. For all things Modeloco, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Another waver there. All along the route you see photographers, people with cameras and stunning lenses on their Nikons and Canons. Good head of steam. Back to Oxenhope Station, people waving and capturing, as we said, this centenary visit in both directions, in all ways. Very quietly, just keeping an eye on this great tour. No doubt some people are travelling the length and breadth of the country, and I know plenty of you abroad will be watching this. If you are feeling slightly envious of myself being in the middle of all this, York and all these great preservation railways that we've got in and around our area, quite a few down south as well, but we've got our great share up in the northern area. And look at this. Sepil, West Africa. The pride that was put into every part of these carriages, locomotives, windows. Everything was done with sort of pride and workmanship. And I do hope we keep that alive for the next 100 years. The 78022 about to depart, as this was the final run of the day. Both gleaming. Both had a great polish for this whole trip. Revellers leaving. Free choice of takeaway food, vegetarian included. Although the vegetarian stall did back out, but there was some other options. Fish and chips and mushy peas was my order of the day. And a cover band in the background. 20 years ago I'd have been running in there and dancing about. Anyway, I'd have been jumping up on stage. Top Withens, of course, Wuthering Heights. It's a fair old jaunt, but if you come into Haworth, you might as well have a go. Or you can go to Bronte Falls. Don't be too excited about Bronte Falls. If it's a dry day, it'll be a trickle. You've been warned. So as quick as we started, we finish. And there we have it. My ticket to ride with 60103 Flying Scotsman in BR Brunswick Green. And it's been giving me inspiration since the day I first set my eyes on it as a 4472 in Apple Green. That's all there is to say for now. Hope you'll join me again and enjoy the journey on my inspirational day out with, I'll say it once more, Flying Scotsman.
Okay, we're back today in Haworth to have a look this time at the engine shed and the Flying Scotsman getting some repairs and maintenance work before it heads off to the Bluebell Railway of all places. Let's get on the way.